A foundational Black American refers to the descendants of individuals who were enslaved in the United States, specifically those who can trace their bloodline lineage back to the American system of slavery. This term is closely related to the concept of American descendants of slavery, ADOS, which also refers to the descendants of enslaved Africans in the area that would become the United States. The term Foundational Black American is used to distinguish this group from other Black individuals who may have immigrated to the United States from other countries or have a different ancestral background. It is a lineage-based identity that encompasses the descendants of enslaved Africans who were brought to the United States against their will and were forced to work as chattel slaves. Foundational Black Americans have a unique history and experience that is distinct from other Black groups in the United States. They have been impacted by the legacy of slavery, Jim Crow laws, and ongoing systemic racism, which has resulted in significant disparities in areas such as education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. Information is missing on the specific criteria used to determine who is considered a foundational Black American, such as the required percentage of ancestral connection to enslaved Africans or the documentation needed to prove lineage. However, it is clear that this term is used to acknowledge the historical and ongoing struggles of this group and to advocate for their rights and interests. Overall, the concept of foundational Black American is an important one that recognizes the distinct experiences and challenges faced by the descendants of enslaved Africans in the United States. It is a term that is used to promote awareness, understanding, and solidarity among this group, as well as to advocate for policies and initiatives that address the ongoing impacts of slavery and racism.
Racism in America has a profound and lasting impact on foundational Black Americans, perpetuating systemic inequalities and disparities in various aspects of life. The legacy of slavery, Jim Crow laws, and ongoing racial discrimination has created a foundation for structural racism, which is deeply entrenched and intertwined in American society. This structural racism upholds systems that negatively affect Black Americans, leading to differences in health, education, economic opportunities, and social mobility. The racial identity of white has evolved throughout American history, often at the expense of Black Americans, who have been subjected to racial discrimination, violence, and marginalization. The death of Reconstruction, for example, fueled a resurgence of white nationalist violence, occupational segregation, and racial discrimination designed to maintain white supremacy. These historical events have laid the foundation for the health inequities, economic disparities, and social injustices that Black people face today. Racism has manifested itself in various ways, including ethnic conflicts, genocide, slavery, lynchings, segregation, Native American reservations, and boarding school. The impact of these events is still felt today, with Black Americans being concerned about racial discrimination and its effects on their lives. The reality is that systemic racism and hatred in America cannot be banished overnight, and it will take time, effort, and collective action to address the generations of inequality and injustice. Information is missing on the specific policies and initiatives that have been implemented to address the impacts of racism on foundational Black Americans. However, it is clear that a comprehensive approach is needed to dismantle the systems of oppression and create a more equitable society. This requires a deep understanding of the historical and ongoing impacts of racism, as well as a commitment to addressing the root causes of these disparities. In conclusion, racism in America has a profound and lasting impact on foundational Black Americans, perpetuating systemic inequalities and disparities in various aspects of life. Addressing these issues requires a comprehensive approach that takes into account the historical and ongoing impacts of racism, as well as a commitment to creating a more equitable society. Thanks for tuning in to the Commodore Jones Show tonight. As we close out the show, I want to leave you with a call to action. Comment, like, and subscribe to the channel for future content. Let's work together to make a difference. Good night, and let's get to work.